Good afternoon. This is ABN News. Today we'll be viewing a special story regarding the revolutionary new book that has been sweeping the nation, Uncle Tom's Cabin. We'll be interviewing two critics, a northerner and a southerner with very different opinions, and the author of the book herself, Harriet Beecher Stowe. Uncle Tom's Cabin is a novel against slavery that tells of an old slave, Uncle Tom, and three of his slaveholders. It also tells of another slave family that tries to escape to freedom. The literature was first published in the abolitionist magazine National Era in 1851, and it came out recently in book form. We will hear from Stowe herself more about the book, her reasons for writing the book, and her personal opinions about slavery. But for now, let's hear what a well-respected critic from the northern states has to say about Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Sir, what are your thoughts about the book?
It was a marvelous book. When you read it for the first time, it could be a startling experience. But it is a much more remarkable book than anyone was ever allowed to suspect.
And now, let's see what our critic from Georgia has to say about Uncle Tom's Cabin. So, what's your opinion of Uncle Tom's Cabin?
The book was terrible. It was utterly unfounded in fact.
And now, let's do our exclusive interview with the author, Harriet Beecher Stowe. Hello, Harriet Beecher Stowe. This is such an honor to be interviewing you. We'll start off with just a few questions on your childhood. How did the way you were raised kind of affect your novel? What made you want to write about such a topic?
Well, as I was born into a very religious family, I have always been against slavery in the cruelties of slavery. And writing has always been one of my talents. I was turned on to artwork, painting, but particularly writing by my mother. Although she died when I was very young, she was an artist as well and inspired me to become an artist. And I wrote a lot in my childhood, and still as an adult I write every day for hours.
That's good. So how did you get your research for the book? You started out just by writing textbooks, and the book is portrayed in Louisiana while you're living in Connecticut. How did you get your information?
Well, when I was younger, I lived in Cincinnati, which was separated from slavery only by a thin strip of the Ohio River. And so we came into a great deal of contact with slavery, particularly runaway slaves or freed slaves who shared their stories and experiences, which were oftentimes
Very powerful, I
very
imagine.
powerful, yes.
Yes. Now, the Fugitive Slave Acts. Obviously, the Fugitive Slave Acts were passed just a couple of years ago, but I know that they angered you quite a great deal.
They did. As I said before, have never liked slavery. But these acts in particular infuriated me further. And so I wrote to my sister expressing my anger and frustration, and she, knowing that I had always enjoyed writing, encouraged me to write more on the topic. So I did. I started writing, and before I knew it, it turned into a book.
Yes. Now, your book. Why are you so against slavery?
Well, I and much of my family, being religious, strongly believe that it damages the Christian soul.
Yes. And just one more question. Your book obviously has been wildly popular throughout the whole United States. The northern states obviously quite devoted to the book, and it's really been an eye-opening experience for them. And the southern states obviously are quite infuriated by the book and feel that it's a lot of falsehoods. What do you have to say to them?
Well, the southern states coming in contact with slavery very often, as they are the main users of slavery, should know that it is not. While I'm not saying that all southern slave owners do beat slaves or treat slaves so harshly. I know that many do from personal experiences, but it is, from my experience, true.
Thank you. Well, thank you for this interview. Whether you're for slavery or against it, Uncle Tom's Cabin addresses an important issue through powerful writing, and an issue that will only get more prevalent over time. Thanks for watching.